This video is to orient you to assignment 1. So you're going to get the PowerPoint in a few minutes. I'll post it up. And a few people were asking about how to get the code done. So you're going to submit it as GitHub, make it a private repository, because the office is going to say, well, what if the students copy and paste from each other's repository? I know you won't do that, but that's what they think about. So I'll show you the way around that. So now we're going to go to GitHub, and I know some of you have the ability to work with Git from command line interface. If you can do that, excellent. If you want me to show you how to do that, we will make another informal class before next week because I don't have time during our Saturday classes. We have too much to do. But I'm happy to tutor anybody who wants on GitHub. I love GitHub. I think it's cool. And I think it's good because you get jobs from knowing it. But here's what I'm going to expect right now. Hope you all have a GitHub repo. If you don't, email me. I'll stay. And that's me. If you're ever looking for me on GitHub, I'm Computational Knowledge. And you can always find me from the bear. So you're going to say repositories. And you're going to make a new repository. It doesn't really matter what you call it, but give it a meaningful name. So we'll say CSD. By the way, I hope everybody is putting their GitHub address on their resume and their LinkedIn, because employers do value that. Works for you, just do it. Now make it private. This is very important. You must make the GitHub repository private. So you say private, say create repository, and now I know some of you were saying, but Peter, if it's private, how will you see it to mark the code? Because you're going to do the following. You're going to go to settings, and you're going to go to manage access, and you have to know your password. Shoot. So now I'm here. I went to settings. I went to manage access. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to say invite a collaborator, and I'm Peter Sigurdsson, so just enter me in there. And you can tell when you see the good-looking guy up there, that's me. So you select that and you say add. Now this is very important. You're going to get a link copied. So when you click there, I don't know why it didn't show the link. It usually should. But if you click there in pending invite, it has now copied a link which you're going to give to me. And it's secure because only my ID can get into it. And then the office doesn't have to have concern that, you know, the students are sharing information or something. Or somebody is going and looking at your code without your permission. Now, how do you get this private URL to me? You do the following. You go to Moodle for our class. And see, there's something there called the work hand-in database. So you click on there, and you click on add entry, and then you put your name, and you put your student ID, and I don't know, just whatever's the name, assignment 1 or something. And here's where you put the link, right? So that's secure. Only my ID on GitHub can get in, and I can't even remember my own password, so it's pretty secure. Then you say save. So that is how you're going to submit your work. You're going to do the work, put it in GitHub, and you're going to make an entry in the work hand-in database. And all of this stuff is documented here. Create a GitHub repository, make it private. Submit your details to the Moodle work hand-in database, which there's a link there as well. So now somebody was asking about details of how you hand the work in. I don't have any questions, so I guess we're still. And there's your repository. You're going to say create a new file, and it's okay to put all of your code into one file. I actually prefer that. It's easier for me. So you can call it whatever you want. Magic squares. and then you go to your Visual Studio Code. Studio Code. Oh, no, not Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio. It's another product. You go into there. And you can just Control A, select the entire code. And you go to your GitHub, you say paste. And then give it some comment. It doesn't really matter. We'll just give it something. First commit. And say this is my assignment 1. Now, whoever, I'm sorry, I think it was Lovepreet or somebody asking about changes. First time that I do some work on my code, I should do that procedure. And about every 10 or 15 minutes when I make some changes, so let's say I go here and I make another method or something. So whatever, I did some work, so now I save it. So frequently, meaning very often, you should update your code in Visual Studio. I go here, I select my file, I click on the pencil, and I select the entire code. Whoops, not the entire page, just the code. And I Control Paste, and then I have to give it another comment, and it's good practice in programming, make meaningful comments. I added method, whatever it is, XXX. And then commit changes. And why you're going to do this frequently is now I can go here and look at the history. And if I see that there are many commits, if you've done a lot of changes, I can see the progression of your work over time. See, I can see over time what you added and what you changed and what you did. Whereas if I only see one GitHub commit at the very end and it's the entire program and everything is there, then I'm going to wonder, did they actually do this work by themselves, or did they maybe get a friend, or they got somebody else or something, or they copied and pasted? See, this shows me the work you've done over time.